So to make it a little bit easier to talk about these table F questions, I'm going to label the columns so that they're easy to refer back to. So I'm going to call this one column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4. Okay, so let's take a look at question 1. According to table F, great, that's where we are. Which ions combine with chloride ion to form an insoluble compound? All right. Chloride ion. So at this point you should have written at the bottom of your page, I wanted you to write out group 1 elements and halides, or group 17 elements, and you should see that chloride ion, falls under group 17 halides. So let's look at where we can find that on the table, and I find it right here, halides, chlorine. Good. Okay, and now the question is asking me about an insoluble compound. Insoluble. So I look up here, and what is this column talking about? It's talking about soluble compounds. So in order for chlorine to form an insoluble compound, I would have to look over here in the exceptions column. So exceptions have silver, lead, and mercury. So it wants me to find something that is insoluble. I'm looking for either silver, lead, or mercury. Oop, there it is, silver. That would be our answer to number 1, because chlorine, when it combines with silver, is going to be... So this question is asking us which compound is most soluble in water. So for now, we're not going to worry about how soluble something is, whether it be it's really soluble or it's kind of soluble or not soluble. For right now, we're just looking at, is it soluble? Is it not soluble? So let's look at these. We have barium carbonate, zinc carbonate, barium sulfate, zinc sulfate. So we're going to look for the things that they have in common, right? Carbonate and sulfate, and we'll try to find those on the table. Okay, let's start with carbonate. Okay, find carbonate right there, and it says that they form insoluble compounds, but this question is asking us for soluble compounds, so we would want to look for something that is an exception. So it says when combined with group 1 ions or ammonium, neither of those are a group 1 ion, right? We wrote those down already. Group 1 ions are down here. Barium is not one of those, and neither is zinc, okay, or ammonium. Yes, barium or zinc are not ammonium, so we can cross those two out. So that leaves us with the sulfates. And where do I find... Oh, there it is, right there. Okay, so it says that sulfates are soluble. Okay, so that means barium sulfate and zinc sulfate are both able to be soluble, but we have to check the exceptions, right? So we're going to look over here, and it says sulfates are soluble unless they're combined with silver, calcium, strontium, barium, or lead. And that is how we get rid of barium, right? Barium makes it insoluble, and that is how we wind up with D.